Hello, my name's Michelle Harrison. I'm a physical therapist working for the Rocky Mountain MS Center. And since the pandemic and when we were all kind of isolated, we started Zoom online exercise classes, which have continued even though things have opened back up. But we had made some recordings of some classes but we haven't done that for a while. And we thought it would be good to get a new one recorded, a new class, particularly because I'm going to be out of town and thought maybe having some new information in the archives would be good for everybody. So I want to welcome everyone. What you will need for class would be a nice sturdy chair. I like kind of a folding chair that's flat, a footstool, and I thought we would do some band work today. However, if you do not have a band, you can always do the movements with weights, right? And this would be a perfect time to let us know that you don't have a band, and we can make sure that we get one sent to you if you would like that. Also, we will need a belt. So belt, footstool, box, trash can, and TheraBand or weights. And I use cans. You can use soup cans. I use beans. That all works really well. So our usual format for class has been to start with a little Qigong Tai Chi mindfulness activity. And then we move into strength and cardio, and then we will end with some stretching. So that's how this is going to be organized. And I thought we would start today with a Qigong routine for anxiety. So this is kind of trying to help find that center, to feel centered and grounded. So we'll start with holding the dantian. The dantian is a big energy area just below the belly button on your body. And we're going to hold that energy point, and we're going to breathe in and out through your nose. This is thought to help tune the nervous system to its optimal frequency. And when you're breathing in vibrant energy, breathing out tension, worries, and stressors. And we'll try and relax the body, neck and shoulders, chest and back. Our first move that we're going to work on is called Big Bear. So we bring our hands out to the sides, and we're going to bring the elbows in. I will turn sideways and curl. So this is Big Bear, opening as if he's coming out of hibernation, stretching out and breathing out. This is spinal cord breathing. As we curl, and then we arch. Clearing tension in the low back and buns. And these movements can be done either seated or standing. Breathing out. Tension. Breathing in that vibrant, warm energy that nourishes us. One more. Good. The next movement we're going to do is called picking cherries. So you're going to lift one hand up over to the head and kind of to the side. And then we're going to lift the other hand up over the head and to the side. So you're getting a gentle stretch on the sides. Making sure you're breathing. Getting that gentle stress. They say you feel stress more in your body than in your mind, the kind of a tightness, a tension. So we're trying to release that as we're reaching up and trying to pick those cherries. Scoot back a little bit so you can see more. And breathing as you're doing this. We'll do one more time each side. And don't be in a rush, right? So we can take our time. Getting back into that ready position, which is a posture where we have weight all over the 4 points of the feet, knees over the feet. If we're standing, hips over the knees. If we're seated, we have another stability point, trying to make sure we're even side to side there. And then feeling like our spine is elongating, that each vertebra is being pulled up gently as if we have a string through our head, lengthening that spine. Arms are lightly engaged as if there's like little tennis balls under your arms, right? Our next move, we're going to push the palms down and out to the sides, down by the hips, stretching the arms down and out to the side, pressing down through the palms. Then we're going to add a movement called spreading the feathers. So we're going to tilt and stretch the neck to one side. And the other. So try not turn your head, but really tip the shoulder or the ear to the shoulder. And also don't bring the shoulder up to the ear. And if you try it without the hands, press down and out to the side, you'll feel a difference, right? So this kind of helps get a little more tension in the neck because we're trying to release all that tension that we often hold in our neck and shoulders. Spreading the feathers. This helps clear emotional patterns throughout the body. So a real nice way to get a little extra stretch on that neck. One more time on the other side. Now we're going to fold at what they call the qua or the hip area. So I will show you this seated or standing. And again, all these can be done seated or standing, depending on how safe you feel with the activity. So seated, we're going to fold down at the qua and bring your hands down to the floor, right? And then we're going to bring our hands out to the side as you arch back and look up. And then down. Standing, this movement would look like bending at the qua or the hip, down to the floor, then coming up, bringing our hands out to the side, arching up. And you could do that with one hand if you needed to hold on with one hand. Again, holding down, lifting up, and looking back. One more. Making sure you're breathing. Let's do one more because I want you to think about breathing in as you arch up and breathing out as you lower your hands down towards your feet. Good. The next movement we're going to bring our hands up overhead, and then we're going to bring them down and back to the sides. But we're also going to try and go up on our toes, right? So we come up, lifting the hands overhead, down to the sides. So it's like we go up on the toes, right? And then drop down on the heels. Toes, drop down on the heels. You could do this seated. Come up on the toes, lift up, hands overhead, drop to the heels. Breath in and out. And thinking of a hard breath as you drop down, because we're using this to pump tension and worries, anxieties out, right? To release stagnant energy, to release things that are stuck in our bodies. Up. Up. One more. Feels kind of good, doesn't it? Breathe in and out. All right. So the next one is bouncing. And instead of a nice hard breath, we're going to do more a sighing breath. So we're going to have our hands overhead and we're going to try and bounce. And we can do it standing, right? Bouncing. And if you do it seated, it's hard work. Shaking your hands open to the chest and the heart area. Then we can lean forward and bounce kind of more at the hips and kind of almost like trying to stretch in between the shoulder blades. And again, standing would kind of be kind of a bounce. This too is supposed to release a lot of tension. We're, trying to get anything stagnant, to move through energy channels and in our body, and tightness and tension kind of released. You could do this anytime just to help release tension, right? This is to show the vital organs that you have confidence in what you need to do, right? And then crossing the arms in front, opening up those shoulder blades and that back. Good. All right, I'm warming up already here. Okay. Our last movement for today it's called grinding tofu. So it's taking a wider stance. Hands are face down, palms are down, and we're gonna kind of rotate in a big circle out in front of your body, kind of parallel to the floor. This is good for helping to center ourselves and to ground ourselves, trying to feel rooted in the earth. And again, standing, right? And we're gonna circle around, and then we hold our hands at that lower dantian area, about a foot away from the tummy, from that dantian. Kind of trying to see if we can't feel the warmth from the palms, feel that warmth kind of enter that dantian or that belly area. Now we're going to do the other side. So if you were going, I was going counterclockwise. So if you want to go the other direction, right, we're going to do the same thing now. But the circle is either, if it was clockwise, go counterclockwise, or circling around, again, shifting side to side, feeling rooted down with your feet into the earth. Last one. And then again, we'll stop holding that energy, that area, a little about a foot away from your tummy. Holding that, seeing if you can't feel the warmth, the fullness, maybe a tapping or a tingling sensation in the hands. That's all that energy, that chi that you can cultivate through activities like this. Big breath in and out. Good. That will conclude the Qigong portion for today. Now we're going to work on our exterior. We've worked a little on the interior. So have that band or your weights available for you. I thought we would just start with a march just to get warmed up. Remembering to breathe. Good. Now, if you can't move your legs, right, you can do your arms. You could do one arm and then the other if you needed to break it up a little bit more. All right. Now, let's do some jumping jacks. Out and in. You could do arms, legs, or you could do both. Can we do doubles? So a little, kind of a little bounce there in between. Looking good. And again, you could do one arm, right? Other arm, could do one leg, right? Lots of options here. Let's go. We're going to do a jack leg. We're going to reach down and we're going to push up overhead. Reach down, feet together, push up overhead. So breathe out. I like breathe in, breathe out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. And again, if you can't get your feet apart, you can always just reach down to the floor and lift up. Down to the floor and lift up. Two more. Last one. Hopefully you have some water available to you. It's always good to have some. I'm going to take a sip myself. Now, let's start with some band exercises. So what we're going to do, we're going to have the band, and hopefully you have a slightly longer one because that helps with some of these activities. Again, if you don't have one, please let us know. Reach up and over and down. And if you wanted to march while you're doing this and move those legs, you could. Lift, lift, and down. If the band's too much, just do the movement without the band. If you don't have a band, use your weight. Right? Down, pull up, down, up. And when you do this, I like for the band to have a little bit of tension to it. So kind of make sure it's not just floppy. We're going to lift up, trying to bring the thumb up to the ceiling. We'll do 3 more, 2 more, and 1. We're going to switch sides. You can keep the legs moving. Again, remember, try and not have the thumb pointed down. Think of trying to keep the wrist stable, not let it really flex in or out, and keep the thumb up to the ceiling. And remember to breathe. It's easy to hold your breath when you're concentrating on something. If you need to just concentrate on arms, you can do that. We're going to do 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Now we're going to pull the band out to the sides. So we're squeezing those shoulder blades, okay? And we're going to kick when we do this. Pull and kick. And again, trying not to let the band really go floppy, right? Have enough tension on it that it's kind of not taut, but that it's not floppy, I guess. Keep working. Pull those, squeeze those shoulder blades, pull those arms back. So pull back, right? Not just straightening and bending the elbows, but kind of really trying to pull to the back. And again, if you want to work on arms for a bit and then legs, you could do that, or just focus on arms. Pace yourself. Make this your workout. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now I'm going to give our shoulders a bit of a break. We're going to put the band, could you see that? I'm going to put it under the knees here. So we put the band under the knees like this, and we're going to pull up, right? We're going to bend those elbows, working those biceps. And again, having just enough tension on the band but it doesn't go real floppy. All right, 5 more, 3 more, last one. Good. All right, now let's take the band and we're going to cross it over your legs, okay? And what we're going to do is you're going to pull out to the sides a little bit with your hands, and we're going to go out and in, out and in, right? And if you want, you could even pull to the side a little bit. If you keep your elbows in and roll those hands out, we're working a little bit of that rotator cuff at the same time while we're working on the abductors of the hips. How are we doing? As we know, seated exercise can be quite a bit of work, right? It's not just easy exercise necessarily. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Now we're going to keep the band crossed, but this time we're going to kind of pull down to the sides because we're going to use it to make a little resistance to lift that hip up or lift that knee up. Bend at the hip, right? If it's too much tension, right, don't use it. If you're using weights, you could always just set the can or the weight on your thigh and lift it, right? And again, if the resistance is too much or you get tired, then, let go of the weight or the band and continue just with the activity, right? Okay. Last set. All right. Now, let's take the band and we're going to put it under one foot. And what we're going to do is we're going to push, right? Push down. Straighten that knee, bend the knee, straighten, bend. If you don't have a band, you could think about pushing out and holding. You could even do that with the band, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, if you want. You could do it without the band, right? Just push and hold, right? Push. Think of really pushing down. Let's do the other foot. Push. Can you feel that? I feel that in my thigh, for sure. Do just a few more. All right. Now, let's work on our triceps, the back of the arms a little bit. So what I'm going to have you do is hold the band at your chest, and then you have a little short lead here, and you're going to push out, right? Should feel that in the back of the upper arm. Switch hands. Other hand at your chest, other hand, right? Like this. You don't have to turn to the side. I'm just trying to give you a better visual, right? You can do it this way. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2. Controlling that band, not letting it snap. And 1. All right. Let's do some abs now. We're going to do abs with the band. And again, if you don't have the band, I'll show you modification here in a minute. Right? So we're going to take the band and we're going to put it around the back of our chair, kind of up towards the top, not too far down. And my buns are scooted forward on the chair. I have a hold of the ends of the band. Can you see that? And what we're going to do is we're going to sit up and away from the chair. Now, when you do this, you're not just going to flop back like, like a rubber band going backwards. You're going to control that. Forward and back. Forward and back. Remembering to breathe. Now we're going to try and pull the right band toward the left knee. Okay, left band towards the right knee. Okay, so if you're not using a band, you could always use weights, right, at your chest or held up. Right? This will be harder, easier, and you can hold them at your chest too as an option. And then same thing with crossing over, right? Cross over one way, cross over the other way. Do a few on one side, then switch, do the other side. How are you doing? Breathing? controlling it forward and backward, right? Not just flopping. All right, it's time to do some standing. So grab, if you're gonna stand, grab a chair, a walker, a counter, table, dresser, whatever you have available. If you're seated, let's work on kick out, right? We're gonna kick out, then squeeze the buns and hold. If you can't kick out, then push down into your feet and squeeze the buns and hold 2, 3, 4, 5. Standing people. Use however much support you need to feel safe, okay? And we're gonna do a step out to the side. We're gonna squat. Back together, we're gonna squat. Step backward, we're gonna squat. So it'll look like this. Out, squat. Back to the middle, squat. Back, squat, okay? Then we'll do the other leg, right? Out to the side, squat. Back to the middle, squat. Step back, squat, right? We're gonna alternate. If you do not feel safe stepping back or doing those movements, you can just do a sit to stand squat, right? That's fine. But we're gonna try and do both sides. If you get tired of doing one activity, you could switch to just a squat, right? Or you could sit and do a seated activity if your legs get tired. Seated people can do the rocket launch if they choose. People standing can continue if they like, where we lift up a little bit, change your mind, sit back down. That's really hard work. Push up a little and down. Lots of options. Again, pace yourself, make this your workout. How are we doing? Looking good. Almost there. Let's do one more set. Out to the side, back to the middle, to the back. Other side, out to the side, to the middle, squat, step to the back. Okay, guess what? It is time to stretch. So let's grab footstool, trash can, or box, whatever you have available. Your belt. And we're going to start with our figure 4 stretch. We're going to cross one leg over. We're going to sit up tall. We're going to hinge forward at the hips till you feel a pull down the side of your thigh, up into your hip, possibly up into your back. And then we can do an ankle circle, kind of trying to help limber up the ankle as well. If you have a brace on and can't do that right now, do it when you get your brace off, right? Because the brace will stop you from doing this movement. If you feel too much torque in the knee by crossing over, you can always put your foot down on a lower footstool or a step or something and lean forward, because where you should feel it is in the thigh, not like you're torquing your knee. Let's switch sides. Cross the other leg over, sitting up tall, hinging forward at the hip. And then we'll draw a circle with that ankle. And I like to use my hand to draw the circle because I get just a little more stretch going. Good. Now, let's put one leg out in front on the footstool trash can or box. Now you can put it on the floor. You'll just have to scoot further forward and lean forward more to get as much stretch. Toes pointing up, knee is flat. We're going to hinge at the hip, not curl the back, and lean forward till you feel a pull in the back of the thigh. If you have difficulty initiating that forward bend, then put the belt around the middle of the foot, and you're going to lean forward till you feel a pull all the way down the backside of the leg. Well, at least down the backside of the thigh. We'll feel more all the way down the leg when we do a stretch here in just a moment. If you're tight, you may feel it all the way down the back of the leg. Then let's put the belt up around the ball of the foot. And we're going to pull back till you feel a stretch in that calf muscle. So now you feel it in the lower leg. But again, you may feel it all the way up the leg if you're tight in the back of the leg, in your hamstrings and your calf. Then we're going to lean forward and you'll definitely feel it all the way down the backside of the leg. And the belt can help so the foot doesn't roll in or out or the leg doesn't roll in or out. Let's do those same 3 stretches on the other side, please. Other foot up or out in front of you. Knee is flat. Sitting up tall, we're going to try and hinge at the hip. Lean forward till you feel a pull in the back of the thigh. And again, you can use the belt to initiate stretch or bending forward or just to get more stretch. Now let's put the belt around the ball of the foot like this. You're going to pull back till you feel stretch in that calf. I just move so that you can kind of see. I feel like maybe you can see better than when I'm straight ahead here with this stretch. Now, lean forward. Now we'll feel all the way down the backside of the leg, from the high knee to the knee, knee down to the ankle. And if your calf is tight, your feet are probably a little tight too. So we're stretching the sole of the foot out some. Okay. Now, we will move the belt and the footstool. We're gonna, if you need the footstool to feel safe, to raise that hand up over your head and lean to the side, you can use it so you don't feel like you're gonna tip. And the other side. Reaching down to the floor, up over your head. If you have difficulty lifting your arm up, you could help with the other hand. Good. Come back up. Take a big breath in. Relax those shoulders. Let's draw some circles with those shoulders. Shoulder rolls, up, back, and around. You can do both directions if you like. We can lace our fingers. If you can't lace your fingers, then grab your wrists. Push your palms toward me. So you're going to push out, stretch in between the shoulder blades, push out towards the screen, also getting a good finger, hand, wrist, and forearm stretch. Hands up over your head, elbows back. And again, if it's hard to get your hands up over your head, try this lying down in bed without a pillow, just to kind of have gravity help you with that movement. Hands behind your head, elbows back. This is another one you can do lying in bed, trying to get your elbows down to the bed. Stretch out the chest and the front of the shoulders. Now we're going to do a shoulder stretch, neck stretch here, by bringing the ear to the shoulder. And like we did earlier in that Qigong movement, we're going to push our hands down and back and see how much more stretch you feel when you do that. And the other side. One more time each side. And the other side. Good. Let's draw a big half circle down across your chest, chin to your shoulder, all the way down and across to the other side. If you get that zingy Lermitz feel down your spine, you can modify that movement. Good. Our last move for today, and I want to thank you for your time and your attention today. We did a lot of work. I want you to do what I call listening head posture. So it's as if your chin is on a shelf. It's not up or down, right? It's level, or your chin is level with the floor or parallel. And you're going to pull your head back over your body. Kind of, I call this a chicken tuck, you know, a chicken brings the head back and forth, but you want to pull back and hold. That really helps work some postural muscles. Bring your hands out, reach around, give yourselves a hug for a job very well done. And again, thank you for your time and attention through this video. I hope you found it helpful. Have a great day. Thank you.